YouTube, it's your girl Lisa Rose. So I'm excited. I'm so excited I can't even talk. So I'm excited for this new video for you guys. This video is going to be all about how to stay safe, slash secure, slash healthy while you're in these hotels on your layovers. So I got some tips for you guys that I think if you incorporate these, it'll make sure no funny business happens on your layover, and you could just make sure you're safe at all times, especially when you're in flight. So stay tuned, and I've got some great tips that I am sure you guys can use. I'm going to be using my phone, guys, because I have typed in my tips so that way I can make sure I stay on task and I get them all to you. First tip that I have is going to be this thing right there. As you can see, that's the latch on my door, y'all, and that latch is closed. And the reason why it's closed is because you never know what's gonna happen when you're in your room. So we're gonna do a little story time for you. So this happened maybe about a month ago. I can't remember where I was, but it's about Atlanta. I'll take that back. I was in hot Atlanta, y'all. So I'm in my hotel room. It's about maybe 12:30 in the morning. I gotta be up early for my trip, maybe around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I'm in my bed, y'all. I'm not thinking nothing about doing nothing, leaving this room at all. I'm like out for the count for the night. So I'm in the bed. Next thing you know, I hear boom, boom. My butt is so startled. I get up out that bed so quick and look, and it's somebody trying to get in my room, y'all. If I didn't have that latch on my door, somebody straight up would have walked on in me in my bed, chilling, trying to go to sleep. And it was it was a man and a woman trying to get in my room. So at that point, I was not having it. I was like, y'all ain't about to roll up on me like this. Catch me off guard, catch me slipping. So if you don't want to be caught slipping, my advice to you would be to put that latch on your door every time you go in your room, because just because you have a room that's reserved, I've heard stories of people walking in on rooms where other people were already inside and vice versa. So first tip, just always keep that latch on your door just to be safe, okay? Next tip. This tip is what I always do first and foremost, is I check my room. So as soon as I get my room, I pull my bags up against the door to keep it open. That way, in case there's some crazy people up in here trying some nonsense, I ain't got to deal with fumbling with the door to get out. I'm just going to bolt for the door and get out. So I always check my room. So that means checking closets, checking the bathroom, checking under the bed. Some beds are really cool because they're blocked off already for you, but a lot of them, they're on a frame. So somebody could be hiding underneath there. You never know. So check your entire room thoroughly. I don't close my door until I have finished checking it. Just to be on the safe side. You never know what people be doing nowadays. So just check your room. Next thing I do is I wrap my remote. And this is one of the healthy tips that I have for you guys. So if y'all don't know, hotel room remotes are one of the most disgusting things that you could possibly touch in your hotel. So what I do is every time I get in the room, I take my ice bucket and I take the little clear bag out of it and I put my remote inside of that and I tie it off, and I use that so that way any germs and all that nastiness that's on the remote is not on my hands, and I feel safe and I feel healthy and I feel like I'm protecting myself from getting sick. So if you want to protect yourself from getting sick too, I would suggest that's a good tip to incorporate. Just always wrap your remote in the clear plastic bag, okay? Next one, closing your blinds. So staying safe, you never know how what's the word I'm looking for? How free you might be feeling while you're in your hotel room. You might want to walk around in some negligee, something sexy, something. You never know. I don't know how you get down on your layovers, but what I'm saying is close your blinds, okay? Because you never know. There's some lurky-loos outside. They might be peeking in your windows watching you. Not only on top of that, so another story time for you. So I was on a layover in Vermont. And, we had a long layover. The layover was maybe about it has to be almost 24 hours. So I'm like settled in. I'm chilling. I got the whole day in Vermont. So it's maybe around 9:30. I wake up and I hear loud noises outside my window on my balcony. And I'm like, yo, is somebody trying to break into my room through the window? And granted, I was nowhere on the floor. So I'm like, they climbing up the side of the building to break in my room? Like, what's going on? So I get up, I look out the window, and it's cleaners. It's the window cleaners, like on the little thing that lifts them up in the air. They like cleaning my windows, and they're outside talking mad loud, like so loud to the point that they woke me up out of my sleep, y'all. So he's like legit just cleaning the window, looking at me through the window. Luckily that day I had on, it was cold, so I had on sweats and a t-shirt, but I just felt like my privacy was violated. Like the hotel should have told me that the cleaning was going to take place, something to that extent, so that way, leave a notice, something, so that way I can be prepared, but they didn't. So because of that, pass this tip on to y'all: close your blinds, keep yourself out of people's eyesight that you don't want looking at you, because you never know when they're gonna catch you slipping. Okay, this is one that I do with my other crew members, and I always exchange room numbers and telephone numbers. Especially if I'm the number one on the trip, the lead, flying lead, I always exchange, just in case. One, if they just happen to not be downstairs at the van time, something that to that extent, I need to be able to have a number to contact them, room number to contact them, so I can at least call them and see like, what's up, where you at. Additionally, it's always good in case there's an emergency, if you know your other crew members' room number, you know where you can check, you know who you can notify to let them know what rooms they're in. Even if you're not like super cool with your crew and you don't want to exchange numbers, at least exchange room, like if you don't want to exchange telephone numbers, at least exchange room numbers, so that way, like if something happens, you can have the front desk at least call their room, or you can call their room from your actual room and your telephone. So I always do that, because that's, to me, that's just a way of looking out for one another, and I would want somebody to look out for me, and vice versa. So next one: leave your room key sleeve inside your room. So generally, for the most part, every hotel that I've been in, the sleeve that the key actually comes in has my room number written on it. And what I've learned to start doing is, once I get my room, I take the sleeve out, I leave it in here, and I just keep my key with me, because you never know who's like lurking and looking when you're on the elevator. Like if you just happen to have your key in your hand, it's some weird stuff. I've been places where there's been people who just, it didn't feel right. It felt like they was following me. But you know, I'm too smooth for that, so I kind of shook them. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, like it's been stuff where people were just a little bit too curious about my room, where I'm going, how long I'm staying at a hotel, little sketchy stuff. So I always take that off. So just in case it happens to be in my hand and somebody's trying to be a little too extra friendly and curious, they don't have access to just seeing that out in the open in my hand. So I just leave it there. Also, if something ever happened to you and you're in a situation where you don't feel safe or uncomfortable, you don't want somebody to easily have access to just knowing what room all of your belongings and stuff are located in. So always leave your room key sleeve in the room. This is pretty self-explanatory, but this goes along with the healthy living tip, and that is, do not put your don't put your suitcase on your bed. So y'all know airports are disgusting. Airplanes are not the cleanest things in the world either. So because your suitcase is on that airplane and you don't know what has been cleaned prior to you putting your items and belongings away, I would always suggest, don't put it on the bed. Don't put it anywhere where you plan on sleeping at, because that's just not good. That's like when I was a kid, my mom used to always tell me, you coming home from school, don't sit on the bed with the clothes you was out and about, you know, doing stuff in. You change your clothes, even if you not going, you know what I'm saying? Just change your clothes. So same logic goes with this. Don't put your suitcase on your bed. It's just not that clean, y'all. We don't need nobody getting sick. Okay, 2 more tips. So if you have the ability to do it, I would always say, especially for in-flight, go to your room with another crew member. I have had people where I've gone on the elevator by myself and people just, like I said earlier, they're just a little too curious. So it's good to be cautious, especially if you're getting in late. I know sometimes for us, we have check-ins at the hotel, sometimes midnight or later. So it's just always good because you just never know people's intentions these days. Okay, and the last tip is press another floor in the elevator. And what I mean by this is, there was a time where myself and one other crew member got on the elevator, and there was a gentleman who also got on the elevator after us, and he was just a little too curious. Notice a trend. Watch out for the curious people, y'all. The curious ones. But yeah, he was just a little too curious about how long our layover was, where we're going, so on and so forth. So when he got on and started asking these questions, the other flight attendant was a little suspicious, like her radar went off. And I'm glad that she did, because she ended up pressing, now granted, we were already on, so we had already pressed our room floors. She ended up pressing another button for a different floor, and we ended up getting off on that floor. And believe it or not, we get off, we wait for another elevator to come, we get back on, we go up, we walk around together. I just happened to go back out to get ice, and that guy, this was the next day, y'all. The guy was like lurking around on our floor, and I was like, why are you lurking around over here? Like, you didn't press this floor when you initially got on the elevator, so were you looking for something? Are you lost? Can we help you find something? Yeah, it was just a little sketchy. So at that point, this was the day that we were going home, so I wasn't really like tripping about him being on the same floor as me, but you never know. You never know. You never know. So just a little tip. If you feel like somebody's in the elevator with you that you don't feel the safest with, you can always press another floor. That way it'll deter them from knowing exactly which floor you're on. And it's just a little extra layer of cautious, preventative action to keep you from harm's way. So that is all I have for you guys. So I hope these tips on staying safe, secure, and healthy on your layovers at hotels is super beneficial for you guys. I definitely make sure I incorporate all of them into my layovers whenever I go on a trip. So I hope that they can help you guys as well. I'm so excited. I just have to say, I love all of my subscribers. I'm growing, guys. My channel is growing. I'm super juiced. I'm super juiced that my channel is growing. So I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thumbs up helps me out a whole bunch. So give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Also, don't forget to comment. Like, you're watching my video, so that means like we're homies now and we need to get to know each other. So comment. I want to get to know y'all and see what's up. So definitely. So I just want to say bye, guys. Until next time. Peace.